Let me ask you, I'm very excited today. Can you feel it? Can you feel the excitement in the air? I am literally on the edge of my chair. This Monday, the 22nd day of September 2014. Can you feel the excitement in the air? Welcome, my precious brothers and sisters. This is the day that Yahweh has made. Let you and I rejoice today and be exceedingly glad in it. Gather around, pull up a chair. A lot of topics for discussion in this video, and I ask that you stay until the ending of this video because I think I've uncovered something that no one has touched on when we're in regards to the Shmita. We're going to talk about that in a moment. We're going to take a look at these 3 missing Afghan soldiers in the news today. We're going to take a look at the borders being wide open and these terror cells allowed to enter in. And they're being allowed to do so for a reason, because judgment is about to fall upon the United States of America. We're going to take a look at ISIS. Believe me, ISIS will be here on the ground, boots on the ground in the United States of America. We're going to have to know how to deal with them. We're going to have to know the plans and the schemes of our enemy, ISIS, the Islamic State. And to do that, we're going to have a better understanding of radical Islam and some of the false claims of Islam. We're going to take a look at that. We're going to take a look at this coming Shmita. We're only days away. Stay until the ending. Every 7 years, there is a Sabbath rest, where if you are following Yahweh, you are doing His will, you will receive a blessing. All your debts will be wiped away. But if you have turned your back on the living God, just as this country has done, you will face judgment. You will face a fall. You will face a collapse. You will face a shaking. But there's something very significant to this Shmita that we are only days away from. Gather around. I'm going to begin. I'm going to have my coffee this morning. Let me know what you're going to share with Pastor Dave. I usually don't ask what are you going to have for breakfast. But do you remember? Let me see if you can remember this breakfast food. And there's a reason I'm doing this. Hold on a minute. Let me show you. Do you remember this? Post Toasties? Post Toasties? Is that anything like Pop-Tarts? Post Toasties. Hold on. Let me have one more cup of coffee. I'm really excited. I'm on the edge of my seat today. Hold on. Post Toasties? Speaking of Post Toasties, now Saturday when I did our Sabbath service, I mentioned it's going to be on the pre-tribulation rapture of the church. And I asked the post-tribbers to please, I said please, very nicely. I was nice, and I said please refrain from leaving any negative comments that will discourage the bride. And what happens right off the bat? Here come the negative comments. A few were from a YouTube channel by the name of Trib Gear. Now I have to ask, I have to question, Trib Gear, are you trying to cash in on the tribulation period? Are you trying to sell like survival gear to get through the tribulation? This video, I'm going to say it again. One last time, I'll say it very nicely. I'm going to say please refrain from just leaving any comments unless they're comments of encouragement. Because if you leave negative comments, I am going to block you from this channel. That is a promise. Now, before we get into the news, I want to talk about these 3 missing Afghan soldiers, ISIS, the Islamic State, the borders being wide open, and the coming Shmita. I want to acknowledge those that have given so much to this ministry, to the homeless. Father God, Yahweh has His hand upon this ministry, and He is broadening and expanding our horizons. I want to thank, for Saturday the Sabbath, Karen, who gave a precious gift to the homeless ministry of $50. I want to thank Video Man DVD, Chris Ray, Video Man DVD, for an amazing and precious gift to our homeless ministry of $20. And Precious Ashley from Tallahassee, Tennessee. Saturday, I received from the UPS a big, huge, giant box I could barely lift, full of clothing for the needy, for the homeless. And Ashley, if you're watching, I hope you're watching. This Monday, Pastor Dave is very tired. I spent all Saturday working the ministry, all yesterday, Sunday, And every piece of clothing has been distributed. As fast as we get clothing items in and items for our ministry, they are gone, distributed as quick as they come in. There is just so much need. I want to thank you so much. Now, I woke up this morning. Nothing came in Sunday. I woke up this morning, and we received a precious gift of $50 from Anthony, all the way from Malaysia. You see how this ministry is expanding? Thank you, Anthony. Judgment is upon the United States of America, the Shmita, where every 7 years we are upon that 7th year mark, where it is a Sabbath year, where you're going to, if you are serving God and you are pleasing Yahweh, you will receive a blessing. All your debts will be wiped clean away. But if you turn your back on God and you're not doing what's pleasing to God, it could be a collapse of your very own finances. Help me help those in need. If you feel led to give to this ministry, there is so much need in the city of Flint and Detroit and Pontiac, Michigan, all surrounding areas where we go out. The weather's getting cold. We need so many things. We need food. We need supplies. We need bottled water. We need pre-cooked meals. We need coats, scarves, hats, gloves, and boots. If you feel moved by the Holy Spirit, the Ruach HaKodesh, to give to this ministry, I will put the link below. I want to talk for a moment on these 3 missing Afghan soldiers. You know, I have to ask why. Let me ask why are they here? Why are we bringing them here to the United States of America? Why are we just openly bringing them here? Now, first there were 2 that came up missing, and now they claim that they have been found somewhere in Washington, but they're not given any details. They won't say where. Where are they? Have they really been found? Now 3, 1 police officer from Afghanistan and 2 Afghan high-ranking military officers, and they come up missing, of all places, in a shopping mall. I wonder, can we be expecting some type of event in the very near future, maybe days from now? Why are we bringing them here? Now, we've got our borders wide open for a reason. We're allowing these terror cells to move in, and we have a very real threat. I believe we are going to see militias popping up all across the United States because ISIS, the Islamic State, are going to have boots on the ground right here in the United States of America. We are going to have to deal with them. We're going to have to understand this jihad, this radical Islam. We're going to have to know our enemy. So what I want to cover, I'm going to do a video in great detail on this coming up, but let's take a look at some of the false claims of Islam. Number 1, let's take a look at this. I'm going to give you facts. Now, they claim that the founder of Islam to be a prophet. That Muhammad, they claim, is a prophet. But let me give you a fact. Muhammad himself never claimed to be a prophet, and he never claimed that he ever heard from Allah. He never heard from God. Here is a fact. Muhammad heard voices in his head that spoke to him, and he thought that they were demonic, evil, demonic spirits. But it was his wife, Aisha, who convinced him to tell the people that he was hearing the voice of Allah, the voice of God. Another fact, Muhammad was a pedophile, having sexual relations with a 6-year-old girl and a 9-year-old girl. He went on to marry the 6-year-old girl, who is Aisha. So he was a pedophile. Fact, Muhammad performed no miracles, and he spoke no prophecies whatsoever. And he died like all mortal men. His grave is still there today. The tomb that once held Yeshua is empty. Muhammad is dead. Jesus is alive. Some more claims. This is a fact. This is not a claim. This is a fact. There are exactly 123 verses in the Quran about killing and fighting, mutilating, and beheading in the name of Allah, their God, a false God. Here's an example, Quran 9:5. This is called the verse of the sword, and it declares to fight and to slay the non-believers. And wherever you find them, seize them, kill them, destroy them, behead them, lie in wait for them. Some claims of Muhammad that we know today are not true. He told the people that the beautiful mountains, but it was Allah, their God, but he flung them down from heaven. He flung the mountains down. And we know today with science and technology that that's not the case, but it was the hand of Yahweh that created the mountains. He didn't fling them down from outer space somewhere. Muhammad claimed that it was his God, Allah, that told him the earth is flat. If we know today, even if you read in the living word, Yahweh tells you. But through modern science and technology, we know the world is not, the earth is not flat. It's round, just as Yahweh said. More coming up. I got a lot coming up. I'm going to do a video on that. I want to talk about the coming Shmita. We are just days away, and let me give you some information on this. This is a 3,000-year-old mystery going back to the time of Moses, and it's every 7 years you have a 7-year Sabbath rest where you are forgiven. All your debts are wiped clean if you believe in the living God, Yahweh, and you follow him. But if you don't, there's going to be a collapse. There's going to be a shaking. There's going to be a fall. And I believe we are headed for a major collapse and a major shaking. Now, and this is every 7 years. And we can go back and let's take a look. World War I, it fell on the Shmita. World War II, the same. World War III, the stock market crash in 1929 was at this very time that we are approaching now. The 7-year Sabbath rest, the Shmita. And we'll look at, hold on a minute, Elul 29 is the last day, and that's when all of your debt is wiped away. If you believe and have done what is pleasing to God. Now, we got to remember, God said according to Israel, I will bless those that bless you and curse those that curse you. This is kind of the same here. If you have blessed God, done things pleasing to God, at this time, all your financial debt, there will be no work for a year. Everything will be forgiven. But if you've turned your back on God, as this country has done, you're going to have a shaking. You're going to have a harbinger. You're going to have a judgment, and that is coming. But I've uncovered something that I don't think anyone else has. We have the 1929 stock market crash that was on this Sabbath year of rest, this Shmita. When the towers came down, September 11th, 2001, it was at the same time, this 7-year rest period. On Black Monday, the collapse of the economy, the stock market crash in 2007, the Vietnam War. But what I don't think a lot of people have put together is that Rosh Hashanah begins the 25th of this month, September. The Shmita begins on Rosh Hashanah. We've got the blood moon, August 8th, October 8th, rather, the second blood moon. I think we are about to go home. If you feel led to get to this ministry, please, I won't put the link below. Rosh Hashanah, September 25th, starts this Shmita. Judgment will fall.